The Nigeria Civil Society Situation Room, presenting its final report on the Ekiti governorship election, commends the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for conducting an orderly election. The group says polls were conducted in a generally peaceful atmosphere across most parts of the state, adding that voters were able to exercise their franchise without widespread disruption, while election officials and security agencies largely discharged their responsibilities in accordance with established procedures. Despite these positives, the report highlights several concerns, including the widespread incidents of vote buying and voter inducement, which the Situation Room notes as a serious threat to electoral integrity.
The bimodal voter accreditation system (BVAS) functioned satisfactorily in most of the observed locations. Nonetheless, isolated incidents of technical difficulties were recorded, resulting in temporary delays in voter accreditation and voting processes. In most cases where the BVAS malfunctioned, it failed to authenticate voters, especially the elderly, using facial detection.
A member of the Situation Room, Austin Aigbe, calls on citizens to take responsibility and say no to vote buying.
If we say that the Electoral Act criminalizes vote buying, whose responsibility is it to stop vote buying? It is the police that make arrests. INEC prosecutes. That's what we know. But what then is the role of citizens? But does the citizens have a role to stop criminality in your area? I will argue yes. That if citizens agree that vote buying will not happen here, then we can all organize. We just cannot keep agonizing about vote buying. It has become almost like a stay in our electoral process. We must say no.
The group secretariat coordinator identifies more procedural lapses.
So, for instance, we had one or two reports, and I'm sure it happened in several other polling units where people were allowed to vote without their PVCs, with just registration numbers. Secondly, the issue of the ballot papers creates some sort of confusion. It could be clarified by just having only the parties that present candidates before the election.
The Situation Room, however, tasked stakeholders on addressing the identified shortcomings ahead of future elections, emphasizing that tackling vote buying and strengthening accountability mechanisms remain critical to deepening Nigeria's democracy. In Abuja, Henrietta Momodu, EBS News.